Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about a concept that I love, and that is called speed bumps, not roadblocks. I'm excited to break this down for you. Not only how important it is with real estate investing and success there, but just success in life as a person and in general. So as we think of speed bumps, not roadblocks, let's say we're driving down the road and all of a sudden we run into a roadblock. We all know what a roadblock is. At that time, it completely stops us. There really is no way through that, right? The only way around is we gotta turn around and find a different way. Now, same scenario, we're driving down the road and we come across a speed bump, right? A lot of times we'll see it, slow down a little bit, go over the bump, it's a little bit uncomfortable, but then we just keep going and we're right on our way. Now, these are completely different. I wanna relate them to a problem. As we face problems, we just barely got done learning about our whys and discovering our whys and setting our goals. And so what ends up happening and what will happen, not a matter of if, but when, is problems. We know we're gonna face problems. We know they're gonna be unforeseen, especially when it comes to real estate investing. I promise there will be problems, okay? And so what happens is if we treat our problems like a roadblock, and you know what I'm talking about because we know these people, right? Wherever there's a problem in their life that comes up, they are the negative ones. It's the end of the world. There's no way through it, right? And we don't want to be around those people because it's draining. It drains our batteries. It's not somebody that we're around that we feel charged and uplifted. It's just exhausting. And you know, and you have people like that in your life, right? Rather, you also have people who treat every problem that comes up more like a speed bump. It's inconvenient, but there's nothing we can do about it, so they get right back on their path. And those people are inspiring, they're motivating. Those are the people that we want to be around. We want to spend time. We kind of naturally just gravitate towards those types of people. And I want to be that type of a person who, anytime there's a problem that comes up, just has a great outlook on it and always looks for the best case scenario, the cup's half full. I remember early on in my real estate investing career, this was the first house that I had bought, and I was renting it out, and I was out of town at the time on vacation. Well, long story short, the neighbor's house behind us, they left their water on. So what that meant was it flooded their backyard, which then flooded my backyard, which then overflowed into the window well, filled it up with water until it busted out the basement window, and it filled the entire basement with water. And at the time I had 3 people living in the basement, and I remember getting the phone call, and unfortunately they weren't home when it happened. So by the time they saw things, there was a lot of damage. It was guitars floating on the floor. It was crazy. And so I remember getting that phone call, and I wasn't home. Like I said, I was on vacation, and it just destroyed me. It ruined the rest of my vacation. I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? Is my insurance gonna go up? Like, who's gonna go over there and clean it up? What am I gonna do with these tenants? Where are they gonna go stay? Am I gonna have to pay for their hotel? Is the guy that left the water on, is he gonna pay for this? Is he gonna fix it? And I just remember it completely just destroyed me. I looked at it as if it was this roadblock in my life, in my investing career. And it's funny as I compare it to another problem that I had probably about 6 or 7 months ago, when I have this multi-unit property and there are units on the top floor and there's units on the bottom floor. And the top floor had just been remodeled and renovated, and it was great, good to go. And the basement we hadn't renovated yet. And I got a bid and a quote from this plumber to replace the tub in one of the basement units. And so the interesting thing was he came over, he saw the basement, he gave us a bid on it. We decided that works, let's go ahead and go and do it. And I got a call the day he was supposed to be doing it from the tenant in the basement, because he was expecting him at 6 o'clock and he never showed up. And this is a few hours later, and so he calls me, he's like, hey, the plumber never came over today. I thought I would just let you know. And so I call the plumber and he says, no, like, we're here right now. We got the old tub out. We're putting the new one in. Like, we're cranking. And I was like, what do you mean? He says you're not there. I was like, which unit are you at? So long story short, he went to the wrong unit. He went to the upstairs unit, one of the ones that had just been remodeled, and he tore out the wrong tub. And it just so happened there was a single lady that lived there, and she wasn't home. She left her door unlocked and came home to her entire bathroom, tile, everything just completely torn apart. So you can imagine how that made her feel. And obviously I felt extremely bad. I offered her free rent to pay for any of the damages, and she was not happy, to the point where she went out of her way to make my life as miserable as possible. She pressed charges. She called the health and safety air inspection people, which I didn't even know was a thing. I got a fine from them. And it was just this entire process, not to mention that I had to pay for a second tub and a second flooring and tile and everything that comes along with remodeling the bathroom that had just been remodeled. And all of these things that really I shouldn't have had to pay for, I ended up paying for. And I remember looking at that scenario, and it cost me a lot of money, it cost me a lot of time, and it's just one of those stressful things, right? And I remember looking at that, and at the time, like I said, this is later on in my career, I viewed it as a speed bump. Even though it was hectic and it was a pain and I did not want to deal with it, it was a speed bump. Life continued. It did not ruin my day. I didn't think twice about it, to be honest. It was just something that came up and we had to deal with. And so we dealt with it and we got right back on our path. And so what I've learned over the years is if you are constantly allowing these problems to affect your life and you're viewing them as a dam or as a roadblock, life's not very fun. You're always stressed out, right? Because anything can just set you off. Rather than if you have the attitude of whatever comes at me, I'm gonna get through this thing. Yeah, it sucks, but oh well, let's do it. Let's make it happen. You're gonna be much, much better off and much more successful. You know those people in life that ride the highs and ride the lows and something good's happening and it's the best day ever, something bad happens, they're down here. Their lives constantly like this, right? It's not a fun way to live whatsoever. You're gonna have a ton of successes in real estate investing. You're gonna get paid a lot of money. You're gonna get a house under contract that you've been trying really hard for, and you're gonna feel so good and so happy. You should celebrate those times, but you're also gonna have unexpected problems. In life, in real estate investing, you already know what I'm talking about because they've already came. If you can learn to be as even keel as possible, yes, celebrate the good times, but also don't make your life a roller coaster. You're gonna be so much more successful and so much more mature in handling the problems that come. My wife is a great example of this. I remember when we first got married, everything would stress her out. It was it was rough, it was tough, right? There was all these things that would come up and it would stress her out. And she's like, this problem, we gotta deal with this, we gotta deal with this. And it's interesting now to see the shift in her 5, 6, 7 years later, as she's become more of an entrepreneur and has dealt with a lot of problems on a daily basis. A big problem this morning even that came up, and she handled it like a champ. She handled it absolutely like a champion. And it's because she's practiced it. She's practiced it, and now our lives are so much less stressful because whatever problem comes up, we're able to handle it and deal with it and then move on and still keep our lives intact. Okay, the last thing I wanna cover on this concept is having a bulletproof mentality. No does not mean no. Okay, so what that means is a lot of people, when they're trying to solve a problem, they'll get the answer no. Especially in real estate investing, you will hear the word no so many times. You just will. It's part of achieving your goals and going after something big, right? You're just gonna hear no, no, no. A lot of people will view that no as a roadblock, something that stops them in their tracks, okay? I'm here to tell you, you will be successful if you view a no as a speed bump and you always respond to it, okay, let's find another way. Okay, let's find another way. Okay, let's find another way. What about this? What about this? What about this? Especially when it comes to financing properties, you'll have so many people that, I gotta wait 2 more years, or I gotta get my credit up. I promise you there is a way around it. And that's one thing that will make you so successful in life and in real estate investing is you just have that mentality and you're that person that just does not accept no. I just don't internalize it, right? It doesn't make sense. What do you mean no? Nobody tells me no, right? No, it might not work that way, but don't say no. Let's find another way, right? It's just like the words I can't. Anytime my daughter says I can't, I always correct her, right? Because we can do something. We might not be able to do it that way, but we can do it, right? So I challenge you as you're going through your real estate investing career and from here on out, as problems come up, start to view them as a speed bump. I don't care how big the problem is and how much of an inconvenience it is. view it as a speed bump. And as you're going through and you're calling customers, you're calling potential people that are gonna sell their house to you, or you're submitting offers and they say no, take it as a no but, right? What other way can I get them to say yes? You might have said no to this, but let's find a solution. Let's be a problem solver, because this is a speed bump, not a roadblock. Hopefully this helps, and hopefully you guys can start to apply it in your lives as you move on and remember this principle.